right, the new thing, basically a reverse gallop palm mute accent pattern etude. So I got this in kind of like sections that increase in difficulty. So the first part being these two lines. So you're just going back and forth between the same couple of notes in each bar. And then the second part, we change the high note or the top note. So we'll play one note for the top twice through, and then we change it that second half of the bar, and then it goes back. So these two bars are the same, and then these two bars are the same, these two are the same, these two are the same. So like looking up here, every time you hit this, let's call it the accent note. Every time you hit the accent note up here, it's the same throughout the bar. Whereas here, the accent note changes halfway through. So you play this accent note twice, and then you'll change it to the other accent note. Now, for the last part, the most challenging part, the accent note changes every time you go to the accent note. But there's still a bit of a pattern happening. So these two bars are the same, these two are the same, these two are the same, and these two are the same. So the way we got it going here, you're hitting that fifth interval first, then you go higher, lower, lower. Higher, higher, lower, lower. So fifth interval, flat six, fifth interval, fourth. Fifth interval, flat six, fifth interval, fourth. And here we start with the fifth interval again, then 6, 5, 4. Fifth interval, sixth, fifth, fourth interval. Down here, once again, we start with the fifth, but this time we go down. This would be a sharp 4, back to the 5, up to the 6. 5, sharp 4, 5, 6. And then here, fifth interval to start once again. Down to the 4th, back to the 5th, up to the 6th. 5, 4, 5, 6. Resolve. Play this at whatever tempo you want. So right now it's set at 120. But you can start it slower. Eventually, when you start feeling comfortable with it, you can push it faster. You set the tempo. Let's see. Yep, do have drums in here, so you can play along with the drums. And learning one section at a time is a good idea. Focusing on one section at a time, getting it up to a speed you like, or as maxing it out is a good idea. So, because I have it set at 120, let's play this whole thing at 120, and let's see if I can get it in the first shot. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's right. I second guessed myself. Well, apparently I could not get it in the first shot. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. On this thing, I don't know if it's the weather change or what, It's a little bit too damn buzzy down there right now. Alright, so, yeah, again, play at whatever tempo you feel comfortable with. Let's do it one more time at a bit slower pace. Let's do this at 100. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, hopefully that gave you a good laugh there at the end. Jesus. Anyway. I might have to go with thicker gauge strings on this thing again after all. I had them put 10s on here because the guy who makes these things said that he develops the neck to have less tension than most guitars. So I said, well, let's just try 10 gauge strings instead of my usual 9. And it was going okay, but then I just wanted to see, well, what is it like with 9 gauge strings again with lower action? And I think it might be a bit too loose. And I'm really not in the mood to change strings again. Because this goddamn Floyd Rose having to change the tension of the springs and all that shit. Anyway, you know how it goes. Alright, number 2, right, this scale is just climbing up one string at a time. You're still going to be working on the, was it step 3, starting on the A string now with that whole, let's see. Yep, that part. You said you like to do some more stuff with those power chord patterns, so that's perfectly fine. Alright, I think that covers it all. But any questions, let me know. I'll see you again next week.